Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you're all having a blessed day so far. Haven't done a lot today, just fed the cat. What else have I done? Went over the road, got a few bits and pieces, some cat food. Yeah, I ain't done a lot really today. I'm gonna do my shopping a bit, get it in for tomorrow or the day after. I think. So yeah, that's my plan. What else? Yeah, I've decided I'm starting to eat a bit more again, and I'm not gonna get into the weights again. I don't want to put on too much size, like, but I just feel like I've been wasting away a bit too much lately. But I had a beef curry earlier, so that's kind of I like eating red meat because it's good for my hair. It's one thing I've noticed when I don't have red meat, my hair thins. So I like to have quite a bit of red meat. Plus it gives me energy, like it gives iron. So because I'm anemic, or I have been anemic in the past, the iron does me good, those sort of things. So I like having red meat as much as I can, or well, as much as it's healthy anyway. So yeah, that's all I can say really, guys. What else? Not done much else other than that. I slept throughout the day, like I say. Don't know why. I was just really well. I do know why, because I stayed up last night doing my course. So yeah, that's why I was tired today. So I slept all through the day, kind of thing. Then if I sleep tonight now, I probably will. I probably will do, to be honest, because I've been feeling quite tired lately. So I probably will sleep. But yeah, don't know what I'm gonna do for the rest of the day. Probably listen to some music, read a bit of the Bible, probably pray. Perhaps anyway. I think that's what I'm gonna do. What I'm gonna try and do. So I'm gonna read a word for you guys now. It's Jesus feeds the 5,000. I'm gonna read it in two parts because it's quite a long one. What I'll do is I'll read Jesus feeds the 5,000 and Jesus walks on water, and I'll read Jesus is the bread of life, and many disciples desert Jesus another time, another day. So yeah, let's just go straight into it. John chapter 6. Jesus feeds the 5,000. Sometime after this, Jesus crossed to the far shore of the Sea of Galilee, that is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great crowd of people followed him because they saw the signs he had performed by healing those who were ill. Then Jesus went up on a mountainside and sat down with his disciples. The Jewish Passover festival was near. Then when Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming towards him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" He asked this only to test him, for he already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Make the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus then took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over, let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. After the people saw the sign Jesus performed, they began to say, "Surely this is the prophet who is to come into the world." Jesus, knowing that they intended to come and make him king by force, withdrew again to a mountain by himself. Jesus walks on the water. When evening came, his disciples went down to the lake, where they got into a boat and set off across the lake for Capernaum. By now it was dark, and Jesus had not yet joined them. A strong wind was blowing, and the waters grew rough. When they had rowed about 3 or 4 miles, they saw Jesus approaching the boat, walking on the water, and they were frightened. But he said to them, "It is I, don't be afraid. It is I, don't be afraid." Then they were willing to take him into the boat, and immediately the boat reached the shore where they were heading. The next day, the crowd that had stayed on the opposite shore of the lake realised that only one boat had been there, and that Jesus had not entered it with his disciples, but they had gone away alone. Then some boats from Tiberias landed near the place where the people had eaten the bread after the Lord had given thanks. Once the crowd realised that neither Jesus nor his disciples were there, they got into the boats and went to Capernaum in search of Jesus. I think I'll leave it there, guys, because that's Jesus feeds the 5,000 and Jesus walks on water. Still got Jesus, the bread of life. It's quite long, and many disciples desert Jesus. So I think I'll leave it there because I don't think I got it in me to read the rest of it. So yeah, guys, I'll do it in 2 parts. I'll do it in 2 parts for you guys. What was that, John? 1 second, guys. John chapter 6, part 1. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'll do that I'll do part 2 another time. This is my leftover on my food. I don't know if you can see. I don't think you can see actually. It's like curry, beef curry. I've still got some left. I'll save it for later. But trust me to do it. Sharing my food.